What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Rogue Trader. Let's do
Always
this.
keep your eye on the prize.
Lord Captain, we've received an astropathic message from Darkonos. Achilles Scalander reports a Xenos raid against a merchant ship in Gartroffel's Calamity. Alright. Bet. We've identified the breed of Xenos that pose this threat, the Aldari, humanity's ancient and insidious foes. How is it you were the only soul who managed to escape the trap on Reichad Minoris? How much truth is there to the rumors that the heretic Kunran Voitver spared you? Or is spreading about you?
Let us not dawdle.
Do my eyes deceive me? Explain yourself, Elentak. Why is there a shard of Krudarok in your chamber? I don't know.
You are accused of consorting with Xenos, betraying the Imperium, and neglecting the interests of humankind.
Where are we going? Don't want to go that way. It's a wild game. Pulsating strands stretch from under Cassia's headpiece, one wrapping around her neck while others drain her lifeblood through her weeping eye sockets and mouth. Every exposed area of Argenta's skin is molded with an intricate pattern of scarlet blistered, crimson indentations, and charred tissue. A passing ray of light reflects off the countless tiny blades that look like they sprouted from inside Adira's body. All of the Cold Trader's bones were broken, her augmented arm was ripped from its socket, and the bones of every finger on the remaining hand are twisted and sticking out at strange angles. Pascal's augmetics were separated but not extracted from his body. The places where they connected the organ tissue teem with predatory millipedes, feasting on the coagulated blood and accumulated pus. Ablard Wassarian's limbs were amputated and then sewn back on his body with remarkable skill and precision using human tendons. Ugh. That's nasty. Let's save before we see this.
The tribunal is waiting for your explanations. Come closer.
And here comes our principal witness, the rogue trader himself. Heinrichs gives you a cold look. If the presented evidence was not enough to convince you, his testimony will conclude this confusing case with full of oath-breaking lies and heresy. You dragged this boy into trial and now expect someone will lend an ear to a lowly heretic's testimony? I thought better of you, Interrogator von Kalix. I was so very wrong. Lady Theodora's voice sounds even harsher and angrier than you remember. The Lord Inquisitor makes a vaguely dismissive gesture. Enough. Let him speak. The sooner this business is concluded, the better. Then let us continue. Shielded by the powers of the warrant of trade granted by the Imperium, Theodora von Valancius more than once allowed herself to openly collaborate with Xenos. You have never seen such a contemptuous grimace on the interrogator's face. She plunged her entire protectorate into apostasy and heresy, including the current rogue trader, and went outside of her way to prevent the Inquisition and me personally from maintaining order inside the Expanse. Does the rogue trader admit to fraternizing to the Xenos, serving them as a puppet, and rejecting the God Emperor's blessed light for the sake of this heretical desires and base profit? Requires iconoclast adherent. The Xenos is gone. Why is the Lord Inquisitor here and Theodore's reanimated corpse too? Didn't she die? Everything is wrong here. Died, you say? But who are you talking to if I did? Get one simple truth into your empty head. Your role in these events is negligible. You shall think me the Emperor on the Golden Throne if I so choose, and think me dead if it strikes my fancy. But this is not what matters right now. Just looking in your direction makes me sick. Why must I speak to the filth? The last words are obviously meant for the court, not you. What just happened? Heinrichs bends over you with a crooked smile. Rogue trader, are you all right? Or was your heretical association with Xenos so disruptive that you lost your mind? The mocking words do little to hide his irritation. The interrogator is obviously displeased with the turn this conversation is taking. The Inquisitor leans forward slightly at the sight of your anguish. For a brief moment, the boredom in his eyes is gone, and he flickered in between the one guy that's part of the Drukhari. It was amusing, but the joke has outstayed its welcome. Theodora shoots the interrogator a nasty look. It is painfully obvious this heretic is dancing to your tune. His word against mine, have you lost even before you even unsheathed your blade, Heinrichs? You need not worry, dear Lord Captain. It was not my intention to bring up unsupported claims. Heinrichs produces a data slate and skillfully manipulates the device until he locates the necessary information. The rogue trader uncovered the crimes of the Aldari on the most important agri-world of the Von Valancius Protectorate, which feeds many Imperium colonies in the Expanse. But instead of purging the planet of the Xenos menace, he allowed the Inhumans to take refuge in the shadow of his power. They are corrupting Genusian society even as we speak, and who knows, perhaps another rebellion will not be long in coming. The Rogue Trader's ties to the Drukhari, a different subspecies of Eldari, are just as obvious. Who else could help him divine the carefully prepared plans of the Drukhari, if not other Drukhari? Gregor von Valancius always ended up in the location of the next Drukhari raid, knowing for certain where they were going to strike. Submit to the illusion. Yes, I did cooperate with Xenos. This I will not deny. Cooperation is a double-edged sword. Sometimes you use your partner, and sometimes your partner uses you, which is what happened to the Rogue Trader. Lady Theodora used him to undermine the standing of the Imperium in the Expanse. The Tribunal remains silent, although those present cast anxious glances at your predecessor. At this point, the Tribunal probably wants to know what the true intentions of the von Valancius dynasty are. The Rogue Trader claims he was been waging war against the Drukhari this entire time, except was there really a war, or was it another carefully staged performance? Heinrichs is looking at you closely, almost without blinking. Allow me to explain what actually happened. Gregor von Valancius personally allowed the Drukhari to his worlds and then used their strength and resources to sow chaos in the Expanse to gain leverage over his rivals. It is very convenient to play the victim while working with those who rob your neighbors, blind and terrify the worlds that pay you tribute. How much did you profit from this Rogue Trader? Did you think I would not uncover your pathetic conspiracy? Enough of this circus, Heinrichs. I did not set up any of the attacks. Failed, of course. Or at least that's what you wanted to say. However, the alien will makes you say something else entirely. It was originally Lady Theodora's plan. She, her servants, always let me know where the next Drukhari attack would take place. I'm sorry. Your pathetic attempt to paint me as a heretic are like a blunted rapier, tedious and useless. Theodora's gaze is not directed at you. She's directing Heinrichs. I do not think so. Another witness to your atrocities arrived alongside the Rogue Trader. Your let slightly takes a graceful step forward. If the court so desires, my speech will run like a river and wash away your doubts. I found a shard of my home in the Rogue Trader's chambers. An entire craft world vanished among the stars. The only clue to its fate resting in the hands of this monkey. That was when I began to suspect that he had something to do with the misfortune that had befallen my Kruderok. Do not be deceived by his breed. There is a cunning predator lurking behind the fluttering of fragile butterfly wings. The monkey before you is a bizarre amalgamation of qualities not usually inherent in his feeble species. He has mastered the mysteries of many of this world's cultures, the secrets of the universe and ancient artifacts, the fine art of war, the intricacies of deceit. All are embodied in a single monkey, however hard it may be to believe. However, the thread that bound our paths broke the moment I realized the monkey's involvement in the disappearance of my home. To flee the Rogue Trader, I tracked down and eliminated his chief tracker, who has pursued our kin in this part of the galaxy for many years, and thus earned clemency before this court. So, Achilles did not simply vanish, you helped him disappear. Heinrich nods curtly. I say he had only himself to blame. An agent who cannot recognize impending threat is useless. Heinrich nods with satisfaction, noticing your reaction, or rather the lack of it. The court has presented with enough evidence, and I hope no one is harboring any doubts as to the guilt of the von Valancius dynasty, but let us allow the Rogue Trader to say his final word. We're all curious to know what you have gleaned from this inquiry. Now I see they've been blind, the Xenos fight one another at a time. I'm struggling to make sense of what's going on here. Mercy? I am nothing but a pup in the shroud. I'm still struggling to make sense of what is going on here. You do not need to understand, Monkey. You have done what was required of you. Now, muster your strength. We still have a fun enough. Lord Inquisitor, are you coming to help me? Oh dear. After the spell is lifted, staggering pain pierces your body, darkness clouds your vision, and nausea creeps up your throat. But the wounds you manage to forget soon remind you that you are still alive. The weakness of your subjects is an insult to the Council of the Archons and the Supreme Overlord of the Komarog himself, Eumerus. The commanding inhuman voice tears you from the vice of agony, and you see an unknown Drukhari in the center of the chamber, whose presence alone causes your insides to clench. Instead of fighting and ripping what they are owed from Destiny's hands by force, they dare to crawl into the dark place, begging for favors. Look at the Drukhari upon the throne. One half of his face is behind a golden mask with an intimidating visage. The other half is shown a malicious, sharp-toothed leer. The Xenos' elaborate armor is decorated with skulls and patches of human skin impaled on countless blades and hooks. He carries himself with an authority and ease, as though he is the ruler who holds the threads of fate of all those present tightly in his grasp. 0% chance. Yeah, look at her. The Xenos looks menacing. Perhaps she is the personal guard of the Drukhari sitting on the throne. Look at Marzahai. The smug grin has fled Marzahai's face. He clutches the hilt of his blade and casts a vicious look at the female Drukhari in the sumptuous armor. Look at Yurlet. Yurlet absorbs every word, occasionally wincing in pain and covering her weeping wounds. Her posture and gestures are full of tension, like prey cornered by a pack of predators. Yurlet shrinks under the hungry stares of those around her. Listen to the conversation. With the greatest respect, mighty Nazrakai, Archon of the Cabal of the Black Heart, first among the chosen, voice of the Overlord of the Dark City, bringer of demise, conqueror of 100 worlds. Nazrakai dismisses Marazhai like a bothersome fly. The Council of Archons has heard enough platitudes, Drakon Marzahai, and no longer wishes to. Sly intrigues, ruthless chill to jagged ice, turning lips and tongues and breath, all in thrice? I read too slow because people want me to read slower. A vitriol verbose, the cut and thrust, keep time with fate's own machinations grave, but whose deft footwork leads to naught but dust, while from its brutal finish none can save. This play the puppet master granted me, through murky stalls a path obligingly. The great puppet master has Vect himself invited you to his chamber? The Archon chokes on his own words, but quickly regains his composure. No matter, you may be our guest, Arbanian, but you are merely a spectator in this performance, and spectators do not belong in the stage, as you undoubtedly know. Do not interfere. The stranger presses a delicate finger to the lips of his sorrowful mask and says with a twinkle in his eye, "A shadow in the shadows will I be." Look at the Eldari who interrupted the trial. Oh, we actually succeeded! The bright motley, the hollow suit, the mask hiding its owner's face, yeah, I knew it was a harlequin, and the graceful subtle movements. Before you stands a harlequin, another representative of the multifaceted Aldari race. The Xenos catches your eye and nods. For a moment, the play of shadow on the mask appears to twist its expression into a mischievous grin. 5% chance, go! Failed. Judging by the Archon's reaction, this is a prominent figure in the Drukhari hierarchy, but memory fails you and you're not familiar with the Xenos by that name. I'll keep listening. The Archon addresses the female Drukhari standing beside him, his eyes alight with mockery, not directed at her, however, for he is still looking at Marzahai. How does the Archon intend to pay for her Cabal's blatant disrespect? I'm waiting for your reply, Ymyrus, and my patience is growing thinner with each breath you take. Marzahai's eyes widen, filled with the astonishment and disbelief. He seems to have been certain of the outcome and did not expect what he was hearing now. His lips twist in an enraged snarl, hatred directed at the Xenos on the throne, and yet it finds no outlet under the gazes of the dozens of Drukhari in the chamber. I humbly bow before the Council of the Archons and apologize for this outburst on behalf of the Cabal. Allow me to prove my respect to you with a humble gift. Ymyrus points at you with a clawed finger and flashes a satisfied grin. The Drakon of the Cabal of the Reaving Tempest himself and his amusing monkey, plaything with their entourage of hapless freaks, will enter your arenas and fight the best warriors for the crowd's amusement. A muffled chuckle can be heard from under Narakai's mask. Kamarag accepts your gift, Ymyrus, but what should I do for Marzahai is the first among your blades? Should I cast him out of the palace and condemn him to disgrace, or should I be merciful and allow him to leave the chamber on his own? The Archon's chilling gaze falls upon you. I think I know who will make this difficult decision. A creature whose mewling the Council of Archons was meant to heed. Is this not right, Marzahai? You will receive what you've been longing for, and it will be the monkey who decides your fate. Marzahai contorts in despair. His gaze shifts from the Archon to you, then to Ymyrus and back, but he does not dare utter an objection. He was a worthy opponent. Let him go to the arena himself. Silence, monkey. You can choke on your own pity. I have no need of it. The monkey has chosen your fate, Marzahai. Let this be a lesson to you. Lay down your weapon, follow the guards, and may the pity of a lesser being serve as a mark of disgrace far worse than the wrath of the Archons. Go. The Archon nods in satisfaction and makes an unfamiliar gesture. The guards draw closer to you. Let us return to you, Ymyrus. The Harlequin's laughter interrupts the Archon and echoes under the vaults of the chamber in a resounding baritone. And all the masks upon their marks now stand, the slave of vanity, the spire of sins, the thief and traitor cast downward by her hand. Unbeknownst to all, their fate depends upon a lead unseen, a player green. The Harlequin leans forward and eyes you with a genuine interest. Is this how you treat the hospitality of the Camarog, Arabinian? The Archon angrily balls his fist, the shadow of his wrath hanging over the Aldari interloper like a thunder cloud. Thought your words were worth more. You insult me by interrupting the trial again. The Xenos sweeps into a theatrical bow that is taking his eyes off Naraxhi's face. You Archons speak a just rebuke in truth. Fate melodies and snarls fantastic have entrapped me here, and when I heard them play, I could not keep my lips from grinning wide. Here comes the hour for shadows to retreat, to where the curtain waits to rise, the laugh. With no beginning, now sends forth the call. You stabbed me. Why was I stabbed? I do not wish to be stabbed. This is not acceptable. This is in fact unacceptable. Oh, we must push in a key, sorry. Did not notice. What? Wakey wakey. The world is an impenetrable haze of warm pain. You lie motionless. No, you rest, and the murky gloom slowly dissolving into nothingness. Sometimes your response is troubled by your unpleasant and persistent tremors coming from the place where your legs used to be. You do your best to ignore them. Away, you vulture, this is not your prey. A vaguely familiar voice reaches you through the curtain of darkness, but your disobedient thoughts refuse to reveal where and when you have heard it before. Was it just recently or 100 lifetimes ago? The trembling coming from your legs is replaced with a violent jerking motion, and then it finally stops. From this phantasmagoria retreat, and deftly seize my merchant vagabond. The puppet master strings left dangling again rise up to take your place and dance. A spark ignites in the darkness, and its light ruthlessly cuts through the gloom that envelops you. An ugly image of the reality around you assaults your retina. You can feel your body again and realize it's filled with pain. Your shoulder is sore from an infection. Until I get a cup of recaf, my vital status is yet to be determined. Alas, the bliss of death will save you not. The whirling waltz of chance and gloom you'll dance. A prickling sensation burns your shoulder, and darkness at last fully withdraws from your mind. Whatever the injection was, it is making your heart beat a frenzied tattoo, and your pupils narrow so that you now register every detail of the disgusting place in which you have found yourself in the merciless clarity. Feel your body. You immediately regret this decision. Every inch of your body is suffering. There is a dull, debilitating pain in your head caused by chemicals of some kind. Your body is covered in deep cuts made either for fun or with sinister intent. All of your organs appear to be intact, but the same cannot be said for your blood. You have lost a great deal. Finally, a strange gnawing spasm occasionally flares at the base of your skull. It is not severe, but for some reason, it is what concerns you most of all. As all your equipment is gone, as are your shoes, and you do not even have a knife to your hand to fend off enemies or to open your veins. Look around. You're surrounded by the dead, numerous corpses, mutilated bodies, and pieces thereof. Humans, Drukari, and other Xenos unfamiliar to you lie motionless in this gruesome mortuary. Look at your rescuer. Your eyes refuse to focus on the blurry figure of the person who came to your aid. He appears to be tall, and your mind emphatically refuses to continue, for every moment of concentration causes you suffering. I have seen you somewhere before. Who are you? A dream of obscure death deliverance, illuminating will and agony. Where am I? Among the shadows and the wings you lie, where taut are pulled the puppet master's strings. The stranger intricately links his fingers to mimic the tools of a puppeteer. My companions, where are they? Not here. The roles have been decided now, but if you play your part, perhaps the plot will draw you back together, or to doom. The figure's cruel laughter follows. The overture in verse and the final lines. The merchant's time to tread the boards has come. Embark on you now upon your pilgrimage, and take my parting gift, a humble prop. The stranger deposits something in your hand and disappears into the twilight. Gift from the beyond. An unremarkable and weak pistol. Attempt to rise. You may have commanded multiple planets and millions of lives in your former life, but in this new reality, not even your own feet will obey. If to punish you for your arrogance, your disobedient limbs send a sharp jolt of pain up your body. Ironclast, remember all the people whose lives depend on you. You try to resurrect the faces of the friends in your memory, but they all seem cloaked by an impenetrable haze. Pain prevents you from focusing on any of them, and the anger and despair start to overwhelm you. You must remember you cannot die here. Spurred on by hopelessness, you make another attempt and get up. Your bare feet feel like they're stuffed with rags and refuse to obey. You have to draw upon all your willpower to suppress the rebellion and stand upright. The pain that engulfs your whole body immediately makes you question the wisdom of this act of defiance. Oof. That's rough. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, I am back. Let's save. We got a lot to check out. Huh? Why you in the work?
I know how to take risks.
The corpses smile at you with warmth and whisper quietly, you are done with join us. No, I won't. 100 wounds, your body is mangled by kill torture. Crippled arm. Deformed bones, your bones are deformed.
I have a nose for profit.
What
and
else
a
is
taste for adventure.
Well, let's throw that on. Oh my god, am I gonna have to try to hit these? Oh my god, there's gonna be so much safe scumming in here, guys. It is not impossible to identify the horrendous spawn dressed in rags as a human being, or rather a genetic anathema descended from human beings. The mutant's hideous appearance is complemented by brutal scars and a partially flayed face. You seem to have made an equally poor impression on the wretched beggar. He sizes you up and rasps. You look like a Grox, Pat. How are you still breathing with wounds like that? Perception test failed. Oh, I would have needed a negative 25. Yeah, that's not happening. The beggar's features are appalling to the point of being too oppressive to observe. I am in need of help. The mutant arches an eyebrow. Bemusement. Really, a gripping tale, and why should I give a crap? Perhaps we can strike a deal. You want to trade? I've got things to trade. The beggar lifts his rags and you catch a dull glint of a pistol handle. What do you got, apart from your innards or whatever that thing is that keeps trying to fall out of your gut? I don't really want to give him my weapon, but let's see what happens if I offer it. I already got one of those, and mine's meaner than yours. If you say so. Bring more interesting goods next time. Then again, I look at you and I don't think we'll be meeting again. Walk away from the beggar. The mutant sniffs the air out. You reek of blood. That's not good. That smell draws a lot of attention around these parts. I'm out of here. The corpses fell down here from above. You hear them whispering about the beauty of their long descent and the cruelty of the impact that broke their cold bones. Whatever the dead have, I take it.
Keep your wits about you.
I'm gonna pass these checks, but it might take a bit, guys. So
I'll learn from this mistake.
yeah, be right back. Nailed it on the second try. There, we got a stem. I mean, we might actually be using some of these down here, hey? I mean, it could happen for sure. Alright, some more over here. Blasted Voidveer. He killed your people, tore down your banner, and replaced it with this heretical flag. Don't hurt me, I've got nothing for you to take. Yeah.
Failure is just a temperament.
Second try again, we're kind of on it. Gladiator's Healing Kit. Restores removes bleeding, heals one fresh injury. Characters the comic medic field talents. The amount of restored wounds will be increased by the bonuses provided. Neat.
I always keep my options open.
Save again before we continue on. I'm gonna go check this one next. Talk to the beggar first. Don't hurt me, I've got nothing for you to take. Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. Come on, first try, let's do it.
I won't let it define me.
Dang.
Outcome I
It's like it's
accept.
guaranteed on the second try. We got another stem pack. No, I want that back. No. No. I'll be right back. I gotta try to get this back, guys. Sorry. There we go. We got it this time. Silly me messing it up last time. Oh. You surrender to the coffin, lie down. Breathing would be easier. No. I won't do that. Find help. Yes, I will, after I talk to this guy and search this. Whatever the dead have, I take it. I know that's what I've been told by these people.
I won't let it define
So hopefully we
me.
get a first try at some point.
Fun.
Oh, really? Boring. Whatever, we'll take it. If you surrender to the cough and lie down, it'll be easier to breathe and your lungs will stop burning. But no, I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that at all. Looks like we can go up that way. Can't go that way, obviously. Or we can go that way. I'm not really sure which way I want to go yet, but we do have this to search, and it's only a 20% chance, so it's probably going to take more than one try, but we'll see.
I'll learn from this mistake.
Told ya. And another stem, but this time it's different. Stem patch. Stem. Different. Okay, well, I think we'll head this way first, I guess.
I always have a backup plan.
Beggars. Cutthroat Drukari. Well, let's save. You fool! Do you have a death wish? That's why they came here, to gut people like us. I'm still going to try to sneak past. Maybe they won't take notice.
You'll suffer exquisitely.
They took notice. So we can sneak around that way. What about this way? Don't hurt me, I've got nothing to take. If you surrender to the call. No, stop, I don't care. No more. Don't hurt me, I've got nothing to take. Yeah. There's so many dead around you. How? It must be Voidship. Damn him for what he's done to your crew. In the pleasant voice, the strange device invites you to put your hand in its depths and press the activation button. Do it. No? Okay. An enormous eye stares at you through the glowing portal, or rather, the portal is the eye of something enormous and small, patiently waiting for you to step inside. Go for it. Don't touch that. That's my corpse. Okay. Well, I guess I went the right way the first time, so back over there we go. Let's just see what happens if we step forward, you know? Let's just be like, what's up, nerds? The fresh corpse has your face. Its killers are standing near.
I will wipe your disgusting presence out of existence.
Killers are standing nearby, and had better stay clear of them, seeing as they already succeeded in killing you once.
I'll make it happen.
Your skill is lacking.
I'll see to it personally. Who, if not me?
I just want to see what happens here.
Just a temporary setback.
I think if I had a melee weapon, I could probably beat them, but I think without a melee weapon, that ain't happening. So it wants me to do this, which I don't know why I just saved again, considering I just reloaded right here, but whatever.
That's how it's done. Is there money to be made
for stealth? Like, what is this?
Scum! You don't belong in this galaxy.
Fear me, monkey.
I wanted the goods. This is probably actually a good place to cut it for this episode since we're so close to 30 minutes anyway. So that's going to do it for this one, guys.
Just as I planned.
I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.